The night my wife looked me square in the eyes and said, "I don't owe you intimacy," something inside me broke. It wasn't just the words themselves. It was the weight behind them, the coldness slicing deeper than any argument we'd ever had. For years, I tried to be the husband she needed, loving, attentive, caring, but it was never enough. Something had changed in her. Or maybe it was me, blind to the shift. The emotional distance between us had grown so vast that I barely recognized the woman I'd once loved. It wasn't just the absence of touch. It was the absence of connection entirely. And when those words left her lips, I realized how far we had fallen. But before we dive deeper, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss the twists and turns ahead. In the days after that shattering night, everything looked different. The house we built together, once a symbol of our life, now felt like a prison. Every corner reminded me of what had been and what would never be. Photos on the wall, the empty seat across from me at dinner. What once felt comforting now felt like a cage I couldn't escape. I couldn't wallow forever. I had to change. It wouldn't be easy, but I needed to reclaim myself. I wasn't the man I had been when I married her, the man who let his identity revolve around someone who no longer cared. I started small, working out, eating better, sleeping better. As my body changed, something inside shifted too. My mindset started evolving. I realized I'd been living for her, constantly trying to win back what we had lost. But why? Why had I paused my life for someone indifferent to my pain? As the days passed, the changes became obvious, not to her, but to me. I wasn't doing this for her. I wasn't chasing her attention or affection anymore. I was doing this for me. And as my confidence grew, so did the distance between us. The more I pulled back, the more she noticed. It was as if she hadn't realized how far we drifted until she saw me walking away. Soon, her behavior shifted. She began watching me again, noticing me in ways she hadn't for months. Stolen glances, quiet curiosity, maybe even surprise at the new version of myself emerging. And that's when the doubts crept in about her, the marriage, even myself. Was she genuinely interested? Or was this just a maneuver to control the situation? One night, after dinner, she approached me. Her eyes, once cold and distant, now burned with a strange intensity. In a low, almost nervous voice, she asked how I'd changed so drastically. I didn't answer. I stood, walked to the window, and stared outside. My mind raced. Should I reveal the truth? Should I show her how deeply her betrayal had cut? The truth was already there, whispering to me. The late nights, hidden phone calls, odd behavior, it all pointed to something more. And in that moment, I realized exactly what had been going on. I confronted her, not with anger, but with calm clarity. At first, she denied it. Then she tried to justify herself, claiming I'd emotionally withdrawn before she did. But that wasn't the whole story. She wasn't just unhappy. She had crossed a line that no apology could fix. She had betrayed me, and the person she had been with wasn't just a stranger. It was someone I trusted, a close friend from our past, someone who was part of our world. That betrayal cut even deeper. The revelation hit me like a punch. For a moment, I didn't know how I would recover. But one thing was certain, I wouldn't let this define me. I wouldn't let someone who once meant everything tear me apart. So I began to let go. I stopped waiting for her to change, to apologize, to fix things. I stopped holding on to a dream that no longer existed. The more I distanced myself, the more I saw her true colors. She wasn't someone who had made a single mistake. She had stopped caring about me long ago. That clarity made everything simple. Even then, she didn't give up. The more I pulled away, the more desperate she became. She showed up at work, sent constant messages, tried to reassert control. But that wasn't the attention I wanted. It was driven by guilt and fear, the fear of losing the comfort she had built around herself. I made a decision, not just to walk away, but to embrace the freedom I had long denied myself. I started planning a life without her, and slowly, something extraordinary happened. I realized I had been living in the shadow of our past, clinging to memories and hopes that no longer served me. Now I was free. Free to rebuild. Free to rediscover the man I was before the marriage, before the betrayal, before anything that had kept me chained.